Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Common Touch of Fantasy. This is number 4, I believe, and it is January 24th. 23rd, I'm sorry. Tomorrow's the 24th. I was thinking because of the book releases. Got my dates wrong. Anyways, today is the 23rd, and now I'm wondering if I actually put the wrong date on the title. Oh well. Alright, welcome to the show. I am talking about some books that I read last week, what I'm currently reading, and the type of culture that I consumed in the last week. If you are in the chat, please say hello. Please let me know what you're reading, what you're enjoying. Maybe write a little one-sentence review of something. Let me know how it is. If you're watching the recording, thank you for watching. Please leave a message in the comments and saying hi and what you're enjoying as well. All right, let's get right to it. Let's talk about some books. Technically, it's the 24th over in England, as Caitlin reminded me just now. So we're doing some weird timey-wimey stuff. So here we go. All right, starting off with my first book that I read last week. And it just so happens to end up being the Diversithon group read book that they were reading. I had no clue they were picking this, but I ended up reading it last week. So I was pretty happy about that. It's a book I've been wanting to read. It is The Underground Railroad by Colson, Whitehead. And this is a good book that deserves to be on your TBR, but maybe grab it from the library, as I do not believe that this is a very rereadable book. The writing improves as the character gains understanding, and the different states' ideas on slavery is a very unique way to discuss many different issues dealing with prejudice. But in the end, I think that this would have worked much better as a first-person narrative. There was a disconnect between me and the main character, like a distance between me and the main character, Cora. I wanted to get more into the mind of Cora, and I just didn't get that. The book starts off a little disjointed at the beginning, but when Cora escapes, it gets much better. The use of an actual underground railroad running under the ground was used exceptionally well, and I really like that part of the story. This is a good read, but I feel like that there are better books that focuses on slavery and the issues that the slaves went through. Kindred is definitely a book that I think is better than this one, but this was a good book, and I'm happy I read it, but I'll probably never read it again. The writing was just so-so. So we have a few people in chat saying hello. Hello, Caitlin. Hi, Miranda. Hi, Linton. Thank you for joining me. Let me know what you read last week and what you really liked last week, what star you gave it. Moving on. Pawn of Prophecy by David Eddings, the first book in the Belgariad series. I should have read this when I was 12. Bottom line. I think that if you get these books, you should get the big volume books where they have half of the series in one and half in the other, because I think it really reads better that way. Because the individual book is really small, and so it ends really abruptly. Read this if these books are on your TBR and you care about reading one of the main staples of fantasy. But if you don't really care about reading these books, you don't really want to put it on your fantasy resume, then I don't know, you might want to skip them. Anyways, Garion is a teenager. He's around 15 years old, and he goes on an adventure with some powerful adults to get back something powerful that was stolen. So it's very an easy plot. Garion is a very annoying character. He's a 15-year-old boy, but many of the side characters are actually a lot of fun. Silk is this wise talking, merchant dealer trying to make deals, and he's kind of a rogue, and he's my favorite character in this book. This is a good setup story that had a lot of info dumps, unfortunately, that I hope will become something unique later on in the series as the next installments get better. Hopefully, it really changes from other books that are very similar. So let's do something a little bit different. Let's go ahead and check this out. All right, Colson, Whitehead, the Underground Railroad. Let's look at other people's reviews real quick. I gave it a 3. Some other people in the Booktube SFF world, Nicole from Nicole's Adventures in Science Fiction Fantasy, she gave it a 4, so she liked it more. Jane from Yes Miss Jane gave it a 4. Quite a few people gave it around that 4 mark for the Underground Railroad. A few people did give it lower, and a lot of people want to read it. And one of the most popular reviewers on Goodreads, I think she's on Booktube as well, Evelyn May, she gave it a 2. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, let's check out Upon a Prophecy. It has a 4.15 overall rating. And some people give it like a 2. 4. Catherine gave it a 2. Joe gave it a 4. My friend Randall here that always comes by and says hi on my videos, he gave it a 3.5. Chris gave it a 4. It's one of those books that if you read it as a kid, you probably loved it. So, alright. Let's check out chat real quick before I go to the next one. Miranda, can't stick around, don't have Wi-Fi, hope you're keeping this up for replay. Yes, it should be up. Thank you so much for your support. Alright, next book is Borderline by Mishell Baker. First off, this book is beautiful. Saga Press is killing it. And if you check out the print, it is very big. A lot of white space. Very easy to read. Anyways, Borderline. This was a very refreshing urban fantasy book that I really liked. If you like outspoken female leads, real genuine characters with mental health or physical complications or issues, and maybe a private investigator, like a story with a private investigator, you'll probably enjoy this. I think you should bump it up on our TBR because it is a quick read. It's one of the best books that I've read that was published last year. Millie, the main character, has borderline personality disorder, and she also has 2 prosthetic legs, and she just makes those things work. She's a super interesting character that isn't afraid to let her feelings be known, sometimes a little bit too much. The urban fantasy part of the story is more of a private detective story, and the use of fae is well done without being like a cheesy ripoff of other books. I thought it was good. It was a quick read, great dialogue. I think it only took me maybe 7.5 hours or so to read this, and it's almost a 400-page book. It was a lot of fun. I really liked it, and I think it should be on our TBR, and you should read it relatively soon. Alright, moving on to some stuff that I'm looking to read this coming week. What are you guys reading right now? What are you guys wanting to read this coming week? The first thing I want to read is Nine Fox Gambit by Yoon Ha Lee. Sorry. Everyone has talked about this quite a bit the last year, and I want to see what I think about it. I think I'm either going to love it and but there's a chance I'll hate it. I don't think I'll be in the middle. I think I'll either love it or hate it. And a lot of times when a lot of people love books on Booktube, like overwhelmingly a majority of them love it, I sometimes don't. So hopefully I'll like it, and I'm looking forward to it. Right now it's at a 4.02. We have Althea Ann, which is a great reviewer, blogger. She gave it a 5. Rachel Caldani gave it a 5. Katie gave it a 5. Gary was another great blogger, gave it a 5. Joe 4. Marianne, another great blogger, gave it a 5. So Elizabeth, a lot of people are giving this 5s and 4s. They really, really like it. But then my friend Michael here, Michael Pauly, gave it a 2. And a lot of times me and Michael kind of line up on books. So we'll see. Looking forward to reading 9 Fox Gambit for sure. And then if I finish that, my other physical book will be the second book in this here series, After the Crown. The first book was Behind the Throne by KB Wagers. And the first one is like this book about this girl that is a weapon runner in space, but then she has to go back to her home planet to become the princess because people are trying to kill her family, and she tries to figure out the political aspects and the mystery around the people trying to kill her family. And this one here is after she has become queen. I'm really looking forward to this. It says on the front, once a gun runner, now fighting for her throne. Really looking forward to reading this. The first one was fantastic. One of my favorite books from last year. Looking forward to reading that. An audiobook, I am still reading The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. It's a long book. And I am about 200 pages in. But it has been very good. The thing about Murakami is you have to enjoy what you're reading in the moment. Like, in the moment, I love it. And I have to remember that feeling in the moment of how I feel about it. Because after I finish, I get this, like, critical part of me thinks, like, what was that? What happened? What was the point? But I have to remember how I felt while reading his books. And that's important. And then if I finish that on audiobook, I'm going to move on to the second book in the Belgariad, Queen of Sorcery by David Eddings. Hopefully that one will be better than the first one. Alright, let's check out chat. We got... Oh, Rachel, hello. She just got Fortune's Pawn by Rachel Bach from the library. Very cool. I've been wanting to read that myself. Linton, I've been reading Bands of Mourning about halfway through, and you like it. That's great. I liked it too. Actually, I'm one of the few people that actually liked the middle book the most in that Wax and Wayne series, but the third one's good too. And the Secret History, after you finish Bands of Mourning, Secret History just blows everything else away. Mind blown. Anyways, what did I get from the library? I got After the Crown from the library. And then I have some comics from the library. Death of Superman, All-Star Superman, Volume 2 and Volume 1. And that is by Grant Morrison. It's supposed to be one of the best Superman stories. So that's why I got those. Alright. Let's hype a book up. My book hype of this week is Passing Strange by Ellen Klages. Alright. This is coming out tomorrow from Tor.com. I've heard mixed things about this. I've heard the characters are great, the inclusion aspects are great, but there's not much magic involved. So let's go ahead and read a little bit about what it's about. San Francisco in 1940 is a haven for unconventional. Tourists flock to the cities within the city, the magic city of the World's Fair. On the island, create an artifice and illusion. The forbidden city of Chinatown, a separate alien world of exotic food and nightclubs that offer authentic experiences. Straight from the pages of the pulps in the twilight world of forbidden love, where outcasts from conventional society can meet. 6 women find their lives are tangled with each other's as they are with the city they call home. They discover love and danger on the borders where mystery, science, and art intersect. Very cool. Supposed to be a lot of different characters in this, and a lot of LGBT type things in it as well. So it's supposed to be pretty good, but there's not a lot of magic in it from the reviews that I've seen. It's more straight up historical fiction in a way, but it still looks pretty good, and the cover is really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's check out chat. Rachel says she had mixed feelings about Behind the Throne, so I'm undecided if I'll continue and read After the Throne. Yeah, I could see that. I'm hoping it's pretty good. I'm hoping it's good. I did not buy any books this week. Very happy about that. And I'm sorry to say that I did not have a favorite short story this week. My short story reading has gone down a little bit because I've been trying to read so many more books. And the short stories that I read at the beginning of last week weren't really my favorite. So don't have a favorite this week. Podcasts. Let's check out the podcast. Wired.com, Geek's Guide to the Galaxy, had a great podcast. Let me pull that up for you guys. It is discussing people of color in fantasy and horror, and the people involved are the guests Daniel Jose Older, Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and Maurice Brodas. And it was a fantastic podcast. I really recommend it. It was episode 237 of Geek's Guide to the Galaxy. I like this podcast quite a bit. And I put a link in the description box below. It's a great podcast. And what I liked about it the most was Sylvia Moreno Garcia is actually a huge Lovecraft fan, and she talks about how her love for Lovecraft intersects his issues with racism and how she deals with that. And I thought that was extremely smart and engaging and very good. So check that out. It's episode 237 of Geek's Guide to the Galaxy with Daniel Jose Older, Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and Maurice Brodas. Alright. Favorite comic of last week. Here we go. Green Valley, issue number 4. This is from Image, and I think Skybound. Yep, Image Skybound. And I've really liked this so far. In the 3rd issue, there was this huge revelation. And in the 4th one here, there's more revelations. But it's basically this fantasy story about these guys that always win all the battles, and they are known far and wide as like the unbeatable knights. And some bad things happen, and they have to deal with defeat, and they have to deal with a bunch of stuff. And it's just such a great comic book so far. They're like kind of old, rough around the edges type of guys, and I really enjoy it quite a bit. And they're on a quest, but it's not just some ordinary quest. And what made me love this issue so much was this layout page right here. So we have this big scene that intersects with these smaller places on the other side. And I think it's just a great way to lay out a double page spread. It's beautiful. Really enjoy this. Green Valley from Image Comics. It's by Landis. I think it's Max Landis. Penciler is Giuseppe Comonskli. And the inker is Cliff Rathburn. I am so bad at names. Good news, I have not dropped any frames at all while doing this. So that means that there are no skippings. I am so happy. I spent hours trying to figure this out. Okay, moving on. Movie that I watched. I watched Straight Outta Compton. It is a story about NWA. And I loved it. It was so good. NWA is a rap group from the early 90s, late 80s. And in it are Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, which is like one of my favorite rappers, Eazy-E, and it was so good. The content is rather explicit, but the story around it and the issues that they faced, being African American men in Los Angeles, in Compton, and trying to make their lives better as rappers, it was really good. I really liked it a lot. And if that interests you, if you like that era of rap music, the early 90s, mid 90s with the gangster rap, I would recommend it. It was really a good movie. TV, what have I been watching on TV? I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've watched almost the entire first season, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine is hilarious. It's so good. Andy Samberg is phenomenal. I loved him on SNL when he used to do like all those Long Island raps and stuff. But on this show, his delivery of lines and his physical comedy is amazing. And there's not many shows that makes me laugh out loud, but this is one of them. I laugh out loud at least once per episode. So that's actually really big for me. Sometimes I'll watch a whole season of a comedy and not laugh once. So I really like it. It's Brooklyn 999. It's on Fox, and I'm watching it on Hulu. If you have Hulu, check it out. It's really good. I did not watch any documentaries because I wanted to finish Borderline so much, and I wanted to watch the football games yesterday, so I spent Saturday reading, and then Sunday watching football. My Steelers lost, but oh well. I just want a good Super Bowl. Also, my favorite Booktuber video of the week is going towards someone that needs more subscribers. I think she's awesome. She talks on Twitter all the time as well, and she's just a really cool person, and she reads a lot of great SFF books, and that is Denise from Denise Harwood. She only has 133 subs, and my favorite video of hers, the link is below in the description, is her 2016 stats and favorites from last year. And she's just really cool, and I think she needs more love from the community. And I think that you guys should check her out, check out her videos, check out what she thinks about books. She reads mostly SFF books, and she's great. Follow her on Twitter. I'm not sure what her Twitter thing is off my head, but she's really cool. Maybe I can check real quick. Nope, she doesn't have it listed. But anyways, yeah, Denise, she's awesome. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Let's check out chat. All right. Yes, Brooklyn 999 is amazing, Rachel. Terry and his yogurt. Yeah. Yep. Terry Crews is in Brooklyn 999, and he's hilarious because he's this giant of a guy, and he's like afraid to go out and do police work outside the station. It's just a very funny concept. Linton really liked Straight Outta Compton, and yes, no lagging, and it looks great. Thank you so much. I'm very happy. No frames dropped tonight. I'm very happy with that. So anyways, that's my show for tonight. I've been going on for 25 minutes. I really appreciate the people that stopped by in the chat and said hello and interacted. And I appreciate everyone that comments and watches the recording later tonight or tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I'll see everyone next week. I know that I'll be enjoying after The Crown and 9 Fox Gambit and some more Wind Up Bird Chronicles. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. If you're still in chat, let me know what you're up to tonight, what you're reading, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.